Check the mic, we're going live. Stories told, they rise and dive. Topics fresh with every spin. You won't guess what's coming in. Every week a new surprise. Minds awake, never lies. Conversations bold and free. Tune in now, just wait and see. This podcast is uncalled for. Catch us here, there's so much more. Laughs and tales you can't ignore. A journey that will leave you floored. In the night or in the day, just press play, we're on our way. Voices sharp, opinions bright.
Hello, everybody. So, welcome a special edition of the podcast today. I will actually be releasing the audio in May sometime to give this a little more time to settle in, and also for logistical purposes. I still have 2 weeks of the unofficial fan lounge to do, and I frankly took up way too much space with episode 200, so this will have to wait a while, and that's okay. But this is definitely going on in May as part of season 11. But so I think we're far enough along in season 10 I can cross pollinate the 2 seasons with stuff. So, but let's talk about what this is all about, and that is we're a lot closer to downtown baseball finally after 20 years of this, man. So let's first go to Safari. Put this over the shoulder because I like that so much. All right. So I'm going to start with Google. All right. Kansas City Council approved a framework on April 16, 2026 to advance negotiations for a new $1.9 billion downtown ballpark for the Royals at Washington Square Park. This proposal follows the rejection of the previous site in the Crossroads district by voters in 2024. I did a whole episode about that. Do we want to be Oakland? So here's the overview from the Google AI, but we'll read a couple articles about it as well. So the location is in and around Washington Square Park, located just north of Grand Center, east of Union Station, and I'll show you that map in a little bit. Site expansion. Football will expand from the park's current 4.8 acres to approximately 11.6 by incorporating the vacant Blue Cross Blue Shield building and its parking lot. Funding. The state's proposal includes $600 million in public funding. So that's just Kansas City, $600 million. I think the Royals said they would contribute about $1 billion. So, and this is going back to when they first floated the idea. They said, "Yeah, we're looking at close to a $2 billion project, and we'll foot the $1 billion for the complex itself, the other billion for the actual stadium." So by complex, I mean their ballpark village concept, and we'll get to that a little bit more as we go along with this. So yeah, $600 million in public funding primarily through city-backed bonds paid off by taxes on new economic activity in the district. So similar to how the streetcar is funded by districts along the streetcar route, and we will definitely talk about that in a little bit. And construction is starting to begin first quarter of 2027 with a goal of opening day 2030. Uh, Important to point out that's Kauffman Stadium. They have their lease there through 2031. So maybe 2031 they actually open this, but we'll see we'll see what happens in the coming years. But that is great. Current legal status. So this was yesterday. They did the final votes to approve this. Um, the state council voted 11 to 1 to 1, so one abstention and uh, one no vote. And Mr. Willets, I know you're the one no votes here. Resign. Resign because you don't give a shit about the city, clearly. And but this votes directs the city manager, guy by the name of Mario Vasquez, to negotiate formal term sheet, lease, and development agreements with uh, with all parties, including the Royals, of course. Team commitment. While the Royals have expressed gratitude for the city's progress, they have not yet publicly commented on the specific sites or the financing plan. If I were the Royals, I'd go ahead and uh, well, that's part of what the city manager's going to be working on in the next few weeks and months. So, but still, really exciting times here, and yeah, public opposition, otherwise being idiots. All right. So, despite the council's approval, the plan faces pushback from community groups like KC tenants regarding use of public funds, and some advocates are already discussing a petition drive to force a public vote on the project. This was not the way they did this. They did it in a way that it could avoid a public vote because they saw what happened 2 years ago. Do we want to be Oakland and lose all of our teams? I was saying moot points for the Chiefs. That's a little bit nuanced because it does involve crossing a state line. But do we want to be Oakland and lose all of our major teams? Um, I would argue, I would hope not, but these are very vocal people, and frankly, a lot of them might be just willfully ignorant. All right, which is a kind way of saying stupid. Uh, a lot of them are probably of the aware will they park variety, which we will address here in this presentation. A lot of them are likely, there's nothing wrong with Kaufman uh, variety. If you're in that camp, go fuck yourself. All right. And when's the last time you actually been to Kaufman? Okay. Um, it's well over 50 years old. Too expensive to bring up to code, and there's fucking nothing around it. Yeah, Arrowhead's right behind it, but in terms of economic development, that site is never developed in such a way, probably because it's not downtown. Uh, and it's barely in Kansas City proper, because you have Independence to the northeast, and you have Raytown to the southeast, and all that. So So and there's really nothing going on there. I always joke about the Taco Bell across 6 lanes of traffic, and well, that's true. You know, but there's really not much else there. You put it downtown, and you're more likely to get business going. And we're talking about, um, yeah, Crown Center's in better days too. And Crown Center, I would consider the southern edge of uh, downtown, really. So, and it's from Crown Center, you'll get the really nice views of our city skyline and everything. I mean, I'll show you the map in a little bit, but I ain't signed the petition. I encourage anyone who's listening to not sign the petition. But hey, there's the map right there. I'll show you the street map as well. But this is Washington Square Park. Right, we have Main Street right here, Grand Boulevard right here. This is Pershing Road. Union Station is right here. This is Penn Valley Park with Liberty Memorial right there. And this whole thing, in fact, this whole thing is Krant Center. It does, because Krant Center does extend to the office towers right across Grand. Yeah, I need to show you the other map. All right. And the Hyatt, the former Hyatt's, it's a Sheraton now. The infamous former Hyatt. Would you like to see specific funding background or more details? Oh, we don't need to. We don't need to, but let's check out our NPR station because I think they've done the best reporting on this, completely free of bias as possible. So, so Kansas City Council passes plan for new Royals Stadium downtown. The team still needs to agree. Yes, yeah. That's why I said this is the first step. The team needs to agree, and state of Missouri needs to get on board. Jackson County is free to get on board if they want, but I don't think they have to. So this photo right here, this is Washington Square Park, looking south. Uh, over here, over here, you see the Skywalk. This connects Union Station to Grand Center. That is Grand Center, and that's specifically that's the Weston Grand Center, right across the street. In fact, I used to work security there. Right here is a Korean War memorial, which can easily be moved. And there's plenty of space at Penn Valley Park, just catty corner to put it. And there's the statue of Washington over here too. But this is the site. So the city will now start to finalize ballpark deal with the Royals, even though the team has not announced Washington Square Park as its preferred location. If I were the Royals, I'd go and take this deal because I don't think you're going to find a better deal anywhere else in the metro. Plus, it's downtown, like you've been advocating for. All right, it's not in the middle of the fucking suburbs where people don't want it, and it's not. And granted, not North KC. I think you probably have a shot better, more land in North KC, just because a lot of it is run down industrial and everything. But this is as good as it's going to get for you. So I would take it. So KC will be on the hook for about 600 million of the 1.5, 1.9 billion. Uh, so Kansas City has approved the plan to finance a new Royal Stadium at Washington Square Park. City Council approved the plan on Thursday, packed with community leaders who opposed the deal and others who supported it. While the council approved the plan, both cheers and cheers erupted from the crowd. Uh, Members of the building trade unions who would like who would likely gain work from constructing the stadium thanked the city council. So there you go. Yeah, jobs, even though they're temporary, you know, ah, jobs, even though they're temporary. And these are two groups that can go fuck themselves. Members of Stand Up KC and Missouri Workers Center, both low-wage worker advocacy groups, told the council they wouldn't forget this at the ballot box. That's why they can go fuck themselves because this is a threat to something that, frankly, has needed to happen in our city for 2 decades. I'm glad it's finally happening. I'm glad we're taking the first steps to making it happen. But that team should be downtown, period. That was true 20 years ago. It's even more true today. So, ballpark expected to cost 1.9 billion. The rest of the price tag could come from the Royals and other public entities like the state of Missouri. Even though the city council passed it, it does not make any final decisions on what the final stadium subsidy would look like. And yeah, state money. So, council member Eric Bunch, one of 10 sponsors of the ordinance, big public transit guy, by the way, said institutions like Union Station, Chamber of Commerce, and Crossroads Community Ed Association supported the plan. The CCA opposed the 2024 plan, which would have been right across the highway from Sprint Center on the site of the former KC Star printing press, uh, which I think would have been a good site as well. But too many people got stupid about it, and and they're still stupid about it because that vote was specific to that particular site. You know, it said nothing about Washington Square Park. Okay. We already had public fun. You had public fun on that specific site. I don't want to hear it no more. All right. So, quoting Bunch, this is a process that didn't go very well a while back, and a big part of that was the location. I think this is a win-win to seek reactivation of a park, and honestly, a surface parking lot that's subterranean that is providing minimum value to the fourth district. We have a location that I think is a good one that a lot of people have gone behind. We did not see that support 2 years ago. The ordinance passed by the council does not finalize the stand plan with the Royals because they still have to get on board with it, of course, but does direct City Manager Mario Vasquez to negotiate a term sheet, lease, and development agreement with the Royals. It also directs Vasquez to apply for a tax increment financing deal, also known as TIF, that will use new sales and earnings tax revenue on a yet to be determined stadium district to pay off the 600 million city-backed bond to pay for the project. So in Kansas, they use something called star bonds. That's basically the same thing, just a different terminology uh, to lure the Chiefs over. And the Chiefs side, by the way, would be they're looking at two specific sites. One for the stadium, that would be in Wyandotte County, just west of the Legends area, Village West, and the racetrack, um, just up the street from Conrado and all that. So that's where the stadium would go. The training facility would actually go here in Olathe at the corner of College Boulevard and Ridgeview, which is right now it's currently a farm. So and as a result, their taxing district includes Olathe, Lenexa, Shawnee, and pretty much all of Wyandotte County. So KCK, Bonner Springs, Edwardsville, they'd all to pay into it. So So this I could see, yeah, very similar to how they do the streetcar, just text um, uh, that specific district. So right here, there's another shot of Washington Square Park. This is the George Washington statue. Looking at the corner of Grand and Pershing. See more of that skywalk. This skywalk connects the West End and the mall to the office tower that you see here, and further ends at the Hyatt. And you see this office building right here. That is also part of Grand Center. It's not attached to the skywalk, but is but that is part of Grand Center. That is right across the streets, and I could see that being converted into the ballpark district that they're looking to do, as well as team offices. So yeah, the Royals have yet to publicly endorse the Washington Square Park location or the city's financing plan. In a statement, the team says it's grateful for the city's work on the plan, which is a hell of a lot better than what St. Louis got with regards to Kroenke. So, oh, this is not a good plan. Teams will go bankrupt from it, and St. Louis is a bad football city. All right. So the team statement said, "We respect the process, which includes the city council and parks board consideration." And that is why it doesn't require public votes because the site is owned by the Parks Board, and they they voted okay on this. Choose some, and and the city manager's presentation of a term sheet for review and negotiation with long-term view. We expect to include one of the largest private investments in Kansas City history. As always, our motivation is to find the best solution for our team, our fans, and our community. We're excited by the possibilities this opportunity presents for our hometown. I agree. I agree with the team there. So, dozens of residents packed City Hall chambers on Thursday to watch the vote and encourage city council members to vote for or against the proposal. Many of those in attendance were with advocacy groups. Stand Up KC, fuck them. Missouri Worker Center, fuck them. And the city's tenants union, KC Tenants. Um, how is that even a thing? How can uh, how is that even a thing? Uh, I digress. I digress. Because usually when you think of unions, you think of in terms of working for in specific industries for specific companies. You do not think of oh, I live here, so I need to be a part of a union because I live here. So, on the subject of unions, others representing area businesses and building trade unions came out on in support of the plan. The Greater Kansas City Chamber of Commerce, KC Sports Commission, Visit KC, the Visitors Bureau, Civic Council of Greater Kansas City, and the Kansas City Area Development Council said in a statement on Thursday that they are encouraged by the city's funding proposal with forward with monument with momentum building. This is an opportunity to move forward, preserving Kansas City's legacy as a major league region and world-class sports destination. They said in the statement. Now I want to pause there for a second and go back to the whole "do we want to be Oakland" uh, arguments. Most likely, you're going to hear about Kansas City through its sports, through its professional sports, and even more specifically through the four big ones, of which we only have the NBA and Major League, not the NBA, NFL and Major League Baseball. We had the NBA, we had the Kings before they moved to Sacramento, and we did have hockey at one point. The Casey Scats, who are now known as the New Jersey Devils. That statue still exists, the way. Um, but a lot of people know us because of the sports scene. Okay, uh, you can make fun of the Travis and Taylor thing all you want, but that's romance puts Kansas City on the map, specifically because the Chiefs are in Kansas City and Travis Kelsey plays for them. You know, back in May on the ordinance earlier this week, some residents expressed frustration that they are the shut the fuck up. All right, I just went over this. All right, that was for one specific site. All right, they you said no. They moved on to another plane. So shut the hell up. As opposed to plan, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's your will. There, that's why I think of the stand-up KC crowd. All right, you're holding back progress for something that again should have been done 20 years ago, but they're getting it done uh, today. And here's the special fuck you to Mr. Willits, Councilmember Nathan Willits, running for Congress. Don't vote for the guy, please. Was the only one to vote against the proposal. That's why you don't vote for him. That's why you shouldn't vote for him. And to his credit, Councilmember Crispin Ray abstained from the vote. Okay, so I'm personally a little disappointed he didn't get behind it, but at the same time, he had the courage to say, "I'm going to sit this one out." So, and I did call on Jonathan Duncan to resign as well because he was vocally against the proposal, but he voted in favor of it. So credit there. After amending the plan to ensure that any development agreements made with the Royals regarding the stadium will go to City Council for approval. This allows me and the residents of Kansas City more eyes on the process. Philosophically, I'm opposed to subsidizing a billionaire's private ballpark, but I'm looking for better transparency in the process, and I think I was able to achieve that. Okay, so on this, okay, I've heard this argument too. That's just the nature of sports in North America specifically, that stadiums tend to be publicly owned. Okay, I get the frustration and all that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I would love to see these fucking cheapskates start paying for their shit. Looking at you, Hunt family. Um, but it is what it is, you know. The It's yet to be finalized. The taxing district would likely include Washington Square Park, as well as Grand Center and part of the Crossroads. The city would borrow the 600 million to help finance the stadium and ballpark district. Its contribution would be paid off using revenue from the TIF district, and once the plan goes before the TIF commission, it must provide notice 45 days before anything can be approved. But unlike a traditional TIF deal, the city, not the Royals, will ultimately be on the hook for the debts it incurs to build the stadium. If the stadium and surrounding districts don't generate enough money to pay down the debt, the city will need to use its funds that would otherwise be spent on city services to cover the shortfall. I don't think that's likely going to happen. But similar situation happened before with the Power and Light District. Paramount District is the way it is because Sprint Center doesn't have a permanent tenant, or T-Mobile Center, I should say. And, B, they intentionally excluded a good amount of the city with their fucking dress code. I know that's no longer enforced, but I was kicked out of there because of it. So, uh, so yeah. When the city waits to, While the city waits to finalize the TIF plan, the rest of the financing has yet to be determined. Under a plan passed last year, the state of Missouri would help pay up to half of the cost of the new stadium for the Royals. The team would also be eligible for up to 50 million in tax credits for investing in the stadiums. But on Monday in the morning, Mayor Lucas said the state is not kicking in 50% to the Royals. Once again, to their credit, the Royals did say that we'd pay for the bulk of this anyway. They certainly paid the billion for the district itself and a good portion of the stadium, but they wanted the public funding. And uh, I think they go back to the town hall I recorded because they addressed it there. So, so after a plan passed, Lucas said he expects the Royals to put private investment into the stadium and ballpark district, and I expects other public partners like Jackson County and Missouri to add funding as well. My goal is once we saw that failed election was that we keep our teams in Kansas City. The the team we were able to lead negotiations with, the Royals. It looks like we're keeping them in Kansas City. I'm proud of the work there. All right. So this is the site that you should check out. So we love KCBaseball.com, and this is a rendering of what the ballpark could look like. Uh, I believe the team has said they want to keep the they want to keep a couple of things that are currently at Kaufman. One, the crown-shaped scoreboard, as you can see here, and two, the famous fountains in the outfield. They want that in the new ballpark as well. So obviously just a preliminary drawing. Uh, you see right here, that's Union Station. What's missing here is the skywalk. I uh, I I honestly think you should keep the skywalk. Just makes crossing those major streets that much more safer, I think. And I don't see streetcar here on Main. So this is Main Street right here where the cursor is. This is Grand Boulevard right here. These are the existing office towers, which again, which is part of Crown Center. These three buildings are part of Crown Center and could be used for team offices and so that's ballpark district they're talking about. I don't think I have time to go over all of this, but yeah, they do have some drawings here. So this is the first one, and as you can see, you have a nice view of the Western Auto uh, loft building. It was the old Western Auto headquarters. Western Auto became Advance Auto. That sign still exists there. They light up on occasion, and this ballpark would give you a great view of that sign. It's pretty cool. Here's another one. This is during the day. Again, where's the? It looks like they have a couple plazas and everything. I'm not sure what these are. Maybe they're ticket offices. I don't know. Guess we'll see. But noticeably absent any streetcar infrastructure. One, and and the skywalk too. I would hope that they keep those. Well, I would hope they keep the skywalk in place. But they also see in the background here. This is T-Mobile Center right here. PNL is across the streets here. This is the Kaufman Center, Performing Arts Center, and behind that is Barrow Hall. And here's another, just focusing on the ballpark and the buildings across the street. So, and you see across the street from even those buildings, that is the it's a Sheraton now, but that is the infamous Hyatt Regency where the skywalk collapsed. And one more, right, and you see the Westin in the background right there. And I think that's Liberty Memorial right there, but that looks pretty cool as well. And another thing about Washington Square Park, I think people tend to forget is that it is not many people use it. It's uh, honestly the only people I ever see use Washington Square Park anymore are homeless people. All right, so that's welovekcbaseball.com. And now we get to the map. So this is the sites. This is right in the middle is Washington Square Park. See, we have Main Street right here. This is Pershing Road right here on the south side of the park. This is Grand Boulevard to the east. Railroad tracks separating it from the Crossroads District is basically this park. This is the Blue Cross Blue Shield building they're talking about. That could unfortunately be torn down. Once again, I think it's a missed opportunity. They could incorporate that into the construction of the new ballpark, just like they did in San Diego. And it would include this parking lot as well. This is a little bit sunken into the ground. It's a lot closer on level with the tracks that is with the park. The park is somewhat elevated. And there's the street, OK Street, which actually goes underneath the parking lot here and comes out here. So it gets the underneath the lower level of Union Station into this parking lot. And that comes out here next to the Union Station parking garage. So this is another uh, bitch. We hear way too much from the other side. Oh, we're having a park. This is the Union Station right here. And right here is the big parking lot, parking garage. It's 3 stories, and yeah, you do have to pay for it, but I guarantee your car's going to be safe in that uh, garage. And we talked about Crown Center. So these 3 buildings across Grand are Crown Center. And it looks like these are being incorporated into the district. This could very well be where the ballpark village winds up being, and that's totally fine. Across the street from that is the Hyatt. Across Pershing Street, this is the Westin. Right here, right behind the Westin, attached to the Westin, actually, is the Crown Center Mall. Um, which not a very large mall, but so and attached to that mall, oh yeah, more parking. Uh, Massive parking garage. There's another massive parking garage across across Grand. This is another part of Grand Center. You see Hallmark Visitor Center right there. Grand Center is effing huge. You know, we colloquially just think of it as being the mall and everything, but it is effing huge. I said before, it's pretty much akin to a company town for Hallmark within the urban core of Kansas City. And And right next to that, this is Hospital Hill. This is where you'll find, yeah, Children's Mercy right here, the UMKC School of Medicine. This is Truman Medical right here. So yeah, you have a hospital right there. This is Penn Valley Park with the World War One museum right there, Liberty Memorial, as we colloquially call it, and right next to that, that's the IRS. And across the train tracks, this is the Crossroads district. So a lot of repurposed, and this gives me an opportunity to show you where the that site that everyone say, "Oh, we voted, we voted." It would have been right here. It would have been right here. So different site altogether. This big building, that's the KC Star Printing Press. Right across the street is T-Mobile Center. Right here, this is where they're putting that big giant lid. Turn this highway, this trench into an actual tunnel. Kaufman Center is right here for performing arts, and this whole thing is Bartle Hall. Right here is Municipal Auditorium, which is actually part of Bartle Hall, actually connected to Bartle Hall, both with a skywalk and um, on underground. All right, so that's the site. That's the site. Like I said, criminally underused. The only people I really ever see using it are the homeless, really. But let's zoom in a little bit here. So I talked about skywalk. So here is that skywalk. So comes out of Union Station right here, across Main, goes down the park right there, and then the streetcar stop is right here, by the way, and next to this first pillar, this first entry way that curves right there into goes right into the Weston, and then it continues through the Weston up some stairs over here, so into this office building where there is a Panera Bread, and then continues on, searches this office building across the way into the Sheraton, which is right here. And then you have these three buildings, which are front of the houses. Well, you got Jimmy John's right here, but I've never seen anyone use it. So that's the sites. Um, then we have a Casey Star article about the state of Missouri getting in on funding. So now all eyes are on Jeff City. So last summer, Mike Kehoe, the governor of Missouri, Republican, signed a bill into law as a massive funding package in hopes of halting the Royals from moving across state line. Uh, I don't know how realistic a possibility that was because the one neighborhood they were talking about said, fuck off. So 10 months later, Kehoe's administration now faces the critical task of deciding how much money Missouri will contribute to a new stadium at near Grant Center. Decision could prove pivotal on whether the Royals decide to throw their full support into the plan. And they have not made a decision, and that's going to be part of the process here the coming months. So, so I could see the states putting in a significant amount of money. Um, Now, inside state funding. Let's go and read this. So, project developed by city leaders would also almost certainly qualify. Missouri's incentives package set minimum project cost of 500 million and Sames must have a seating capacity of more than 30,000. Two requirements already outlined in the city's proposal. Well, we already said 1.9 billion for the whole thing, so that's about a quarter of it, a quarter of the total project, right? And I think this is going to be slightly smaller than Kaufman. I don't know offhand what the, I can look that up actually. So give me a sec while I look this up. Let's go to Wikipedia. I think this ballpark's gonna wind up smaller than Kaufman, and that's perfectly fine. Uh, Kaufman's 37,903 is their current capacity, so just slightly smaller. I guess probably about 5,000 smaller. I don't know. I don't know what they have in mind, but we'll figure out those details as we move along. But total cost cannot exceed 50% of the total project costs. I believe I just said it's about a quarter of what the project would cost, and that's according to Missouri law. Program benefits would won't last longer than 30 years, and contributions from local governments are also required. Hence, this 600 million under the bill, and that's just Kansas City. It doesn't include Jackson County. You know, uh, hopefully Jackson County gets on board with it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Under the bill, state incentives would be caught back if a team relocates its stadium, headquarters, or training facility outside of Missouri. And this. While lawmakers can refuse to pay, the consequences of that decision are so severe that there's no realistic possibility of it happening, says the House Minority Leader. Actually, I apologize. I don't know the pronunciation, but she's from the area. Unless Republicans succeed in eliminating the state's income tax but fail to adequately replace that revenue and end up bankrupting the state. This is something Kansas did. All right, Brambekistan. All right. So I don't know why you decided. I don't know why Missouri decided to uh, follow that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I hope they don't actually go through with it. I hope better heads will prevail. And yeah, so let's get this done. And I'm going to share with you now. I'm going to stop share here. And I'm going to share with you now some materials sent to me by that group, the We Love KC Baseball. Okay, so we'll start with this one. Zero business displacements. Uh, Surrounded buildings, by other buildings of similar scale, redevelopment opportunities, and 17 acres of undeveloped surface lots. So that was a major bitch of the Crossroads project because it would displace a few small businesses in that area. Uh, to be honest, how many of you actually went patroned any of those businesses? All right, just saying. Here, it's an underused park that only the homeless really use, plus a parking lot that's not really being used because the company um, moved to a new building downtown. So, so that's so we got that. Okay, we're gonna stop share on that one. I guess we gotta do these one at a time. but that's zero business displacements. Number two, to go along with that bitch about where are we gonna find a place to park? It's right on the streetcar line, on the KC streetcar line. Uh, Ride KC predicts 5 to 7,000 fans will utilize the streetcar, which has two stops connected to the Washington Square Park site. Well, yeah, the northbound southbound platforms at Union Station. The northbound platform is actually in Washington Square Park, and that is a brand new. By brand new, I mean it's part of the extension because before the extension, it would just stop at what is now the southbound platform at Union Station. It would turn around and run the whole length before coming back and stopping again at Union Station. Now you have the then, just before the extension opened, they moved to the crossover down the street. So for a while, it would slowly leave the Union Station stop, head southbound, then turn around, use that crossing, and service the northbound platform, and does have that capacity now, uh, if they so needs to use it. So, um, but anyway, with that extension, it now goes all the way down to UMKC and services the Plaza and Westports and Midtown. By the way, the Plaza was built with cars in mind, and so you can go there, you can park for free. That's the cool thing about the Plaza is that the parking is for free, and they don't give a shit about whether or not you're there patroning a business. And you just park and you can walk. You walk a couple. You can walk to the Plaza stop, which is huge. By the way, if you haven't got a chance to see it yet, it is huge. You could safely park 4 streetcars there and everything. And you can walk, you take the streetcar, which is also free to use. You take it up to the Union Station stop and you're there. All right. So once again, shut the fuck up about, oh, I can't find a place to park. Is we're clearly showing you a place you can park. Uh, Now let's stick with the whole parking thing for just a second and show you this abundant parking. Uh, Washington Square Park site has more than 20,000 parking spots within four blocks. So where's on those sites? Well, we've got they got the parking garages across the street there, which have 1,600 uh, spots. Now, yeah, the garages that I talked about, the Crown Shops garage is the one. Crown Shops garage and Crown Center garage between the two, 11,000 for the mall, 18, 1,100 for the mall, excuse me, and 1,800 for the bigger Crown Center garage. Um, you have yeah, the West Yards garage, which is attached to Union Station, 1,400 right there. You have 1,700 and the 2,300 Main Street garage, which I don't know how accessible that is, but still, underneath Union Station, you have 450 sites. And I do hope they find a way to keep OK Streets, but oh, if they have to get rid of it, that's fine. Um, Throughout the Crossroads district, you have a couple garages, 400, 250. The Coffin Center Garage, 1,000 spots right there. Hallmark Garage, I don't know if they're going to open that to the public, but that's 2,000. They could use another 2,000 right here that they could use. So parking is not an issue at this site. Between this and the fact that you got the streetcar, shut the hell up about parking. All right. Next, we come to highway access. So let's go and share that real quick. So easy highway access. So Washington Square Park has 9 existing interstate connections. So okay. So this is this is Southwest Traffic Way going into 35 or coming off of 35 and yeah. Yeah, this would be the Southwest Traffic Way exits right here on I-35. Right here, this is Southwest Boulevard. Going into from I-35 into the crossroads onto Broadway, West Penway. Here, this is yeah, and this is yeah, that's a little further. That's 19th or 18th Street right here. And you have a couple from 670 Broadway and Grand. No, that's not Grand. That's Oak. That's Oak. I, my geog my geography is failing me. Off of a 670, and then this is off of 70. This is uh, yeah, this is Troost right here, number 3, right there. Uh, EO 71. This is and this eventually becomes I-29 in the north and I-49 to the south, but that's way the hell south. They have to get rid of a few stoplights before that can be classed interstate. Of course, there's another plan in the works right now to address that. But you have 3 possible exits from 71 here that can go to the site. So getting there, that's not an issue. Uh, Once again, with the parking issue, the parking non-issue, it's just a bunch of idiots who don't know how to park and are too impatient to find a good parking spot. So we're going to share the next one. Let's go with keeping on that theme, convergence of roadways. So, here are Washington Square Park site has 8 existing major roadways converging at the site. So let's count them all. So Main Street, number 1. Number 2, Grand Boulevard. Number 3, this is actually McGee Street. Now I'm seeing the map. So McGee runs in front of the Hyatt. Number 4, this is Oak. Number 5, that's 22nd Street. Number 6 is Gillum Road. Number 7, Pershing Road, bordering on the south. And number 8 is Broadway. So, plenty of ways to get to the site. And this is a site that, even though no one's using the park, people use Union Station, people use Grant Center, people go to uh, Penn Valley Park. So it's not like it's completely devoid of uh, activity. Back to the streetcar for a second, um, they after about a month or two of stats on the extension, UMKC is now the most used top on the streetcar line. Number two is Union Station. So even though it's no longer the terminus, a lot of people still use it. All right, so there's that slide, and then I think we have one more slide share with you. Yeah, cost savings. So let's look at that. So yeah, surrounded by existing attractions. Union Station, right here. Crown Center, World War One Museum and Memorial. Dealing with local Scotland Lumber Memorial. Penn Valley Park, which is the park that the Learning Memorial actually sits in. Penway Point. It's not in this graphic, but you may have seen, if you've been in Kansas City in the last couple of years, you may have seen a big Ferris wheel right next to the highway. That is Penway Point. Restaurants, bars, hotels, and more. So, you know, yeah, again, restaurants and bars and hotels. Well, right here at the Westin is good, which will be right across the street from this site, and all the cool stuff actually in the Crossroads uh, district. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. I am excited that they found a site. I'm excited that they got something together. Really excited about that, and I'm excited that um, sounds like the Royals would be are keenly interested in this, and I hope that to see this gets get to getting done. All right. So, yeah, about 4 or 5 years time, we'll be uh, talking baseball downtown Kansas City. Looking forward to it, and the site is perfect. And frankly, shut the hell up about parking. Shut the hell up about Kaufman's such a nice stadium. There's nothing wrong with it. Shut the hell up about that. This is happening. All right. Anyways, I think that'll do it for this time. And we'll talk again soon. Peace. All right. Weren't we just here like a minute ago? Anyway, hello again. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026. Happy Earth Day, by the way, to those who celebrate. And oh yeah, the Royals made some news today regarding the ballpark. So last week we were talking about Washington Square Park, which you see right here on the screen. Turns out it will not be at Washington Square Park. It'll be very close to Washington Square Park, but not actually there. It looks like the site. So we're going to go down Grand. So this is Crown Center. This whole thing right here is Crown Center, including this right here. That's the Sheraton. That's the former Hyatt's horse. So before I continue, I will explain they did a press conference earlier today, just a couple of hours ago, at the time I'm recording this. And A, the Royals entered into an agreement with Hallmark. Yeah, the green card uh, company. Yes, so that's part of it. And two, they agreed to build the new ballpark in Crown Center. Like actually in Crown Center, not the uh, not the park. So we are now looking at the site of the new Royals ballpark. So so from the renderings, I was able to see, and I will show those to you in a sec too. Um, the boundaries would be Gillum Road, which is right here on the east side, and pretty much the eastern edge of the whole Crown Center uh, complex. And it looks like McGee will be the western boundary of the ballpark portion. Then north would be along 25th Street right here. And south would be 26th Street. So this is a ma massive hill. And from what we're from what I'm seeing from the renderings, they're gonna leave the church alone. But this is Hallmark's actual headquarters, and this is the site they have chosen, and leaving much of the rest of the Crown Center complex alone. However, Hallmark, in addition to this, will be building a new headquarters elsewhere in Crown Center, which I guess the best way to describe Crown Center is it is Hallmark's company town. It just happens to be within the urban core of Kansas City, Missouri. Uh, is so looks like the visitor center. This will and this structure, these will be left alone for most part. I think this is parking, actually, which brings us to the shut the fuck up about nowhere to park. Because I think this is a parking structure right here. And I'm pretty sure this is a parking structure to the south. I know for a fact, let's go to the mall portion of it. Underneath this right here, these buildings, that's parking. There's parking underneath the mall, which is right here where my mouse is. And they are fundamentally leaving the major parts of Crown Center alone. But this, the Hallmark HQ, this will be gone. And this is where the Royals will play. So very close to some other things around this area. Um, my first attempt at feature film, The Jesus Letter, was shot primarily in this neighborhood right here. We have UMKC School of Dentistry right here. This is Truman Med and yeah, Truman Med and Children's Mercy are right here as well. So you're close to hospitals, and of course the other sites. Yeah, the Liberty Memorial, World War One Museum and Memorial, Union Station right there. Of course, there's the park once again, and oh yeah, it's within comfortable walking distance of two streetcar stops. The first being the Union Station stop right here at Union Station in Washington Square Park. And the second one is further down the extension is right here, World War One Museum and Memorial. That's the northbound, and that's the southbound. So, so yeah, both within walking distance. But like I said, this is built on a giant hill. So what will happen is this building will be torn down, and I think they said 2027 is when they want to start construction, and then 20. Uh, oh yeah, this is what the rendering looks like. So you see, they compensate for the hill. So this upper portion will be street level. That'll be sunken into the hill, but you see the parking structure right there. And right there, that's Shukardi and Bacon, the law firm. Shout out to my friend Charlie Eblin. We need to get you on the podcast at some point. I hear those office buildings surrounding the square. There's that's canopy there. That's the skating rink. Uh, got the office building right there. Uh, right next to that skating rink right now, that's an extension of the mall, and that's where you'll find the aquarium and Legoland. And then there's a bridge over Grand right there into the rest of the mall, which is right here, and that's directly connected to the Westin. So, so they're building a not only a downtown area, but downtown area that's already corporately owned and developed, and has access to shopping and restaurants and everything. Not bad for a company, and not bad for a company that's known for making green cards. So, and shout out to Ian for posting that. Um, so yeah, few more things. We need you. I need people to STFU immediately about there's no place to put it downtown. They found a place. All right. You need to STFU about parking. Parking lot spot over here, parking spot over here. I'm pretty sure this is all, I think this is all parking actually right here. So already surrounded by plenty of it. There's parking underneath here. There's parking underneath here. There's parking over here. It's good. And underneath here and here as well. Plenty of parking all around. So no need to bitch about it any further. And you have the streetcar stops, two of them within walking distance. World War One Museum and Memorial, and Union Station, both within walking distance of this site. And as you can also see, they fundamentally leave the hospitals alone. As you can see from that rendering, they plan on leaving the church alone too. So this would be like if you're familiar with English football, Everton FC, they recently moved into a new stadium, but their old stadium, Goodison Park, famously had a church in one corner of the ground. Uh, and to their credit, they're big Everton supporters, fans would have their ashes buried at that church on the ground, or rather, in even in the pitch at Goodson Park, they would have their ashes buried and everything. But yeah, there's precedent for having a church in your on your stadium ground. Everything just happens to be in England. So yeah, and like I said, 2030 they hope to be up and running. 2031 is when their lease at Kaufman expires. But I love this location. I love it so much. It's uh, it's exactly where I think when I think downtown. I've always I've said before. I'll say it. Uh, Union Station, Union Station, Crown Center area. It's basically the southern edge of downtown. So yeah, and the fact that they're working in tandem with Hallmark on this, that's incredible as well. And one other thing I'll bring up. So the Royals, famously, their logo resembles a crown. Um, I had a feeling that Hallmark may have had something to do with it because Hallmark also uses a crown as their corporate logo. Uh, turns out, yes, yes, uh, yeah. In fact, it was a Hallmark employee that created that logo. So it's kind of a full circle type thing ish. But yeah, I still love it. And an extra fuck you to the KC Tenants group. They're saying, "Oh, we're opposed to this." But what would you have been in favor of? And staying at Kaufman was never going to be an option. So get that out of your thick fucking skulls right now. All right. So this is the new sites. Um, while we're in map mode, I'll show you a couple of other sites here. So it is. So this site is a little southwest of Municipal Stadium, where Municipal Stadium stood. This is the site today. This is 22nd Street on the south, and this is Brooklyn Avenue. All right, we have Lincoln Prep High School is right here in between, and right here is um, where the stadium used to be. There you'll still see a plaque there, but as you can see, is now housing everything. Um, I'll zoom out a little more and show you. I don't see Kaufman name anywhere on here. That's because it's we gotta go all the way. So here's Kaufman now. Quite the distance from. So Kaufman's over here, and the new site is way the hell over here. Not way the hell over here. So this is yeah. So there we go. Baseball's finally coming downtown. Took 20 years more than I would have liked, but it's coming downtown. Now, since since I have this out, here's Arrowhead right next to Kaufman, and I'll show you where the Chiefs place is going to be. For that, we got to go all the way to the other intersection of it's going to be so here's Village West, and here that's 435. That's I-70. Conrado's down here. Actually, more down here. So their site is pretty much going to be this parcel of land right here between States Avenue and Parallel Parkway, 118th Street. I th- so I think it's going to be, yeah, around here. Piper High School is nearby. See, here's the racetrack, Ag Hall of Fame, where they also hold the Ren Fair here, and Sandstone is in this area too, the amphitheater. Uh, but let me show you Village West. So about here is where the Chiefs development will be, at least the stadium portion. So sorry, I have no idea what urban casing is, but it's the racetrack. There's a casino at the racetrack, Chateau Avalon. Atlas 9, I've heard about this place. I have not checked it out yet, but Margaritaville is right here. This is Sporting Park right here where Sporting KC play. Right across the street from Nebraska Furniture Mart. This is the Legends Mall right here. Right here is the minor league baseball park. We do have the they used to be called the T-Bones, but thanks to an agreement they made with the Negro Leagues Museum, they're now called the Monarchs after the Negro Leagues team. And while we're in this area, I talked about I've talked about the sporting fields where Santa Fe and our other amateur teams play. They're right here. It says Compass Compass Minerals Sporting Fields. That's it right here, and they're just have it right be right next to. This is Providence Hospital right here. So that's KCK, and while we're talking about the local NFL team, the training facility. I'm going further south. Okay, 435 K10. The training facility that they're talking about would be, so for reference, College Boulevard down here, K10 right there. See, there's soccer fields already right here. There's some shops, restaurants, but this big field right here, that will be where the Chiefs training facility will be. And see, there's not much there right now. It's all farmland. So, yeah, lots of moving and shaking in our local sports scene. But but uh, but the big thing is we're finally getting downtown baseball, and they chose the perfect site for it. And kudos working with one of the biggest companies in Kansas City to make it happen. So applause all around, and the critics can now shut the hell up because it's happening. All right. I'll go and post the video of this now, but this I'll tack on to what we talked about last week with the city okaying it, everything, because it all fits very nicely. And to their credit, they did say they'd find a way to include Washington Square Park into the bigger ballpark district, which I think we can now say with some certainty now includes the Grand Center Mall and all that. So, um, and and I'll go ahead and add one more thing now that I'm thinking about it. Uh, the Grand Center Mall also happens to have the musical theater heritage, which at one point also doubled as Screenland on the third floor there. Uh, it was certainly the case last year, but it is an occasional fringe venue. So how about that in July? Catch a Royals game, go see a fringe show, and you Just have to do a lot of walking. That's all. So, all right. And Union Station is always also used as a fringe venue too, with the city stage and such. So, really exciting times for our city. I can't wait to see this new ballpark in a few years. And you better believe I'm going to be talking about it on the pod. So I'm still doing the pod in 4 years. I think I will be, but you never know. All right. We'll talk soon. This podcast is Uncalled For. It is hosted, produced, and edited by myself, Mike Chernevsky. Our opening music is This Podcast is Uncalled For theme, courtesy of Suno.com, Suno.com. Our outro music for this episode is 80s Action by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, and it is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. And our transition music is also Kevin MacLeod. It's Secret of Tiki Island by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. And congratulations to the Royals on this announcement. And let's go Royals.
Please support the podcast and purchase our exclusive Uncalled For merchandise. T-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and so much more. Go to www.cafepress.com/uncalledforpod. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.
The one thing that I'm going to try to do, Stephen, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to try to get one of the urinals out of the Royals locker room and one of the urinals out of the visiting locker room to put in my house. Wouldn't that be great to have that? Well, I'm going to try to get one from the Royals visiting and home and transport it to my house.